Hello, and thank you so much for joining me again on another episode of Life with Leeks. I am Malika. So today we're going to be doing a creamy vegan pot pie with coconut flour biscuits. This is a part of my 30-day vegan meal freezer prep meals. I haven't had this before, but I'm looking forward to enjoying it. So I started out by roasting my potatoes and carrots in some avocado oil with just some Himalayan salt and pepper. So I am making two portions for a family of four, so that's 8 servings. So my portions are going to be a little bit bigger than the average portion. So I did a whole bag of the miniature mixed potatoes, and then I did about 6 large carrots. So I added my avocado oil, added my oil and my pepper, and then I just popped them in the air fryer to roast for about 15 minutes. And I had 2 batches of that, so it took me about 30 minutes to make both batches. So while that waited, I went on and sauteed my onion and bell peppers and for a few minutes, and then after that I added my garlic. Once my onions and peppers were tender, then you would normally add 2 tablespoons of flour, but since I'm making larger portions here, I added 4 tablespoons, and I used garbanzo flour. I stirred that around for about a minute, and then I added my creamer. I chose Khalifa Farms creamer, which was a half and half, half almond milk and half coconut milk. But any vegan creamer will do, whatever your preference is. So it's you use about 2 cups, and then I think I had just about 2 cups that was left. Next, you want to add your better than bouillon sauce. You can use mushroom or vegetable. I chose vegetable this time. I used about 1.5 teaspoons of that. Mix it well, and then I began to add my seasoning. So I used garlic powder, ground fennel, Italian herbs, and thyme. I think the only one I actually measured was the thyme, and I used half a teaspoon because I don't really care for thyme. But the rest I just eyeballed. And then you continue to stir this until it thickens. Once it thickens, then you want to add your roasted vegetables from the air fryer. And so my second batch of veggies, I added that to the air fryer. And while that was cooking, I added some mixed veggies, frozen mixed veggies. And that consisted of corn, sliced carrots, peas, and some green beans. So I just added that to my dish, again, because I'm making larger portions. I also added some veggie stock to make it stretch just a little bit. I didn't measure, but I just poured maybe about 3/4 of a cup right in. Lastly, I added the remaining roasted veggies. I added a few sprigs of rosemary, put the top on, and let it simmer for 20 minutes while I made the biscuits. Which, by the way, is a treat because I worked really hard to move away from foods like biscuits. And so I found a dairy and gluten-free recipe that I've been meaning to try for a long time. So this is the perfect occasion to try that. So let me share with you how I made those. So these are my coconut flour biscuits. So it starts out with making my egg replacer. So I use ground flaxseed. I use 4 tablespoons. So each tablespoon represents replacing an egg. I used 4 tablespoons of the milled flaxseed, and then I used 3 tablespoons of water to every tablespoon of flaxseed. The recipe called for 4 organic egg whites and 2 organic egg yolks, but I just did 4 egg replacements, and that was it. So I made that first and let that sit while I prepare the rest of the ingredients, which are 1/3 cup of coconut flour, and then I put half a teaspoon of baking powder, just a little bit of salt, half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of raw honey, and then 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Once you've mixed all your ingredients together and your egg replacer has sat for a few moments, then you add that to your mixture. Mix that well, and then let that stand for about 10 minutes or so. Lastly, preheat your oven for 400 degrees and prepare your biscuits on a baking sheet. I spread a little avocado oil on the sheet. Prepare your biscuits, and then, I never follow the directions. I just kind of watch them. What I did do was bake them for I'd say about 11 minutes, and then I put it on broil so the top would brown. And that's it. And there you have it, gluten-free and dairy-free biscuits that go along with your pot pie. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again real soon.